What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Goblin, and before I even dive into the topic of this commentary, I just want to say that I'm really tired right now. It's like 9 a.m. and I didn't sleep last night because I got home at like 1, I think, maybe 12 or 1, something like that, and I just said, fuck it, let's go, boys, we staying up. So I just kind of, went with that. I'm really tired, but I felt the need, to just kind of knock out some comms for some future uploads right now. So here I am, sitting here, home alone, recording commentaries, turn up. So basically today, if you guys couldn't already judge by the title, I'm coming in with a rant about clingy girls, and I don't mean like necessarily clingy girls as in just like, let's say you have like a side hoe and she's really like clingy and you're not feeling the same. I'm talking like when you're dating a girl and she's overly clingy. And, most people are going to kind of assume just by the title of this, like, oh, Goblin's about to go off and shit talk these thotties and like, fuck you, clingy bitch. But no, I'm actually, I'm kind of backing them up in this one because, a lot of guys kind of sit there and they're like, nah, if she clingy, fuck that bitch. Like, I'm not, she's so annoying. What the fuck? But, honestly, if you kind of think about it from the viewpoint that I have of it, clingy girls are actually pretty fantastic, honestly. And I have a good reason for that, because think about it this way, right? If you got a girl, all right, let's say you're dating a girl, you could be dating as long as you want, like a year and a half, right? And let's say, maybe you think she's cheating with your best friend Jerome, right? Your name's Jamal, your buddy Jerome's probably fucking your bitch and you have no idea, alright? If she's not clingy, naturally, she's probably not gonna like text you like a ton. So like when she goes out for quote unquote girls night out, when she's really going over to fucking Jerome, let's say one day you got plans with your boy Jerome, alright? So you he completely forgot about these plans. So, he has your bitch over. You come over to Jerome's house, you're like, hey Jerome, I'm on the porch. And then Jerome's like, oh shit. And then he's like, alright, hold on. And then, he comes and answers the door and you just kind of look over his shoulder and your girl's just standing there with the bed sheet wrapped around her and you're just like, bruh, why you gotta fucking do that? Because she wasn't texting you the whole time, but you didn't expect her to, so you didn't fucking know. You had to find out in person that Jerome's fucking your bitch, Whereas if you have a clingy girl, okay, they're gonna be hesitant to cheat, because if they're clingy, that means they give a shit, okay? And clingy girls, like, at least from what I've seen, they like to talk a lot, so they're gonna text you a lot, they're gonna FaceTime you, they're gonna Skype, whatever it is, and, that's like that verification, like, alright, she's not sucking dick right now. Or if she is like really good at hiding it, because, normally if you're typing with one hand, the other hand on the dick, let's say, like when I'm typing only one-handed when I text, I can't type for shit. So if she's pulling that off, that's impressive. That's, you just keep sucking that dick. I don't even care. That's impressive performance right there. Nah, but so, if she's clingy, she's just gonna be kind of like contacting you more, I guess. And that gives you like that reassurance that she's not gonna pull some hoe shit and cheat on you, Whereas if you just have like a regular girl, or not, I don't even call it regular. If you kind of have a girl who's like semi-hoe, let's say, or let's just say you have a girl who you like have kind of been fighting with lately and shit, girls who aren't really clingy, naturally they're probably not gonna have as much of like an emotional give a fuckness. I don't really know how else to put it. I can't think of elaborate words. This tired. I'm fucking worn out. But I mean, like, they're not really gonna give a fuck. So, you got a girl who isn't clingy, alright? She's gonna go out there, she'll find a new dude, it doesn't matter. She'll start dating a new dude. She'll start dating a new dude a month before you break up. She'll have 2 dudes at once, and then she'll dump your ass and be like, yeah, yo, we're done. And then she'll never even tell you about it, That's that, like, non-clingy, don't give a fuck thoughty shit, And I'm not saying that all girls that aren't clingy are thoughts. I'm not saying that at all, it's not the case. But I'm just saying, in some, pretty bad scenarios, that could happen, Meanwhile, clingy girls, like, it's just kind of like that backing you up. Like, she's always gonna be by your side, basically. If you have a clingy girl who actually like gives a shit about you, and I'm not talking clingy as in she's literally like, okay, there's a difference between like clingy and just downright creepy. Like, if she's constantly asking where the fuck you are and like what you're doing, and asking like, alright, take a picture of the doorknob, okay, to prove that you're in your room, because if you're actually in your bathroom right now, we're fucking done. I'm dumping you right now, and you told me you're in your room and you're really taking a piss. Fuck you, Whereas, there's a difference between that and the kind of clingy where she just wants to talk to you all the time, That's the good kind of clingy I'm talking about. I'm not talking about that crazy bitch kind of clingy, So, I mean, like, she's gonna be your ride or die if she's not the crazy bitch kind of clingy. So let's say you go to jail, you get locked up one day for killing a motherfucker. You can guarantee, like, 10 years later, she's gonna be standing there as you walk out of jail with a cake and, like, surprise you with that shit. You can guarantee she probably hasn't had sex in, like, 10 years, so she's gonna want the dick, because if she's clingy and she's good and she's loyal, then she'll wait 10 years for that dick game, She'll wait 10 years for that dick game. She'll wait 20, 30, 50 whole life. It doesn't fucking matter, And it's just like, I don't know. All I ever hear is dudes like, oh, she's so fucking annoying, bro. She's clingy, bro. It's like, I'm just kind of sitting here like, I'll take her. All right, and pass it over, boys. I'll handle it from here. Because I mean, that's the shit that like you kind of need to be more appreciative of, because like, yeah, sure, sometimes it may get a little tedious, or it may be like interrupting something that you're doing. Like, for example, if I'm sitting here 720 quick scoping motherfuckers in BO2, and then I got my girl sitting here texting me, and if I don't respond fairly quickly, she's gonna be like, hey, you fucking a bitch, and I'll be like, nah. Then that might interrupt my 720 quick scoping. But besides that, I think it's very good. It's worth it, because I mean, hey, I'm willing to exchange some 720 quick scope time in exchange for a loyal girl who isn't going to cheat on me. Because that's hard to find nowadays. We got more and more thoughties on the come up. We got girls just fucking, I don't even know anymore. There's like 7th grade girls who are sucking dick now. I don't even know what's happening anymore. This is fucking ridiculous. You give me 20 years. I swear to God, give it 20 years and girls are gonna have like nudes as their yearbook pictures, and that's just kind of what's gonna happen. That's how it's gonna be. So I mean, I don't know. I just went completely off track. Honestly, fuck this. It's not him. I haven't slept in so long, and I don't fucking know. I don't know if I'm going to go to bed. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys once again for 2K. Let's go for 100 likes on this video. And if you have any thoughts on clingy girls, drop a comment sharing. So I can't fucking look at this. Look, I can't fucking talk. I'm done. I'm so angry right now. I'm going to take this water bottle off my desk and just fucking whip it. Holy shit. Okay, the cap is on. Never mind. I'm fine. All right, I'm sitting back down. Hold on, boys. All right, yeah. So thank you guys so much for 2.2K. I'm almost to 2.3K. I have 2,292 subs right now, I think, as I'm recording this, something around that. So hoping to hit 2.3K today. If not, that's cool too. I guess I'll just cry. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Once again, let's go for 100 likes, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Started out with nothing, I was hungry. Now I got a couple niggas, bitches on me. Fuck nigga, I don't wanna be your homie. I had to make a couple bands by my lonely. I had to make a couple bands by my lonely. I had to make a couple bands.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Goblin, and before I even get into this commentary, I want to say that I actually don't have my pop filter on my microphone right now, so it may sound a little bit worse than my typical commentaries, and I really do apologize for that, but I needed to get this commentary out as soon as possible to kind of fill you guys in with what is going on. I'm kind of further away from my mic right now, so I probably sound a little bit quieter. My voice is probably a little less, smooth and buttery. Yeah, baby. But I'm just gonna make do with what I have right now. This is the only commentary, hopefully, that will go up like this. I promise you guys. I'm so sorry that not only do you have to see this or listen to this, but then you have to see some Ghost gameplay. And I'm gonna explain why that is and why I'm not on my main Xbox account and just what's going on lately. So, I kind of want to rant. I'm pretty frustrated. I'm pretty pissed off right now. Basically, my Xbox Live account got banned. And the reason behind why that Microsoft emailed me was my bio. Apparently there was something inappropriate on my profile. The only swear I had in my entire profile was the word shit. So I guess that's just hell no. How could you? How dare you say the shit word? Fuck you. Get off our Xbox Live servers right now. Fuck you, Goblin. Get out. That pissed me off really bad. That was stupid. I don't understand why I had to be banned for a week for having the word shit in my bio. I don't know. So I had to make a second account. It ran out of Live. I used a trial on that one, and I got a new trial from a dude who goes by the name I'm Also You. Check him out in the description below. Follow him on Twitter. Please do follow him on Twitter. He helped me out big time by giving me this trial, which is the only reason that you guys are even watching this video right now, because it's the only way I got a gameplay. So definitely check him out. Follow him. Big thank you to him. Thank you so much for that trial. And yeah, I mean, I just wanted to fill you guys in with what's going on and tell you guys, I'm having some technical issues lately. My BO2 disc broke. It's unreadable now. I have to get a new BO2, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to scrape together some pennies for that shit. I don't know. I have to get my main profile banned because I really don't like playing on this crappy little profile with like 10 gamer score and like 3 friends and a trial membership. That's not how I roll. And, on top of that, it's just, I don't know, man. I left my pop filter at my dad's house, which is why it's not being used right now, so this commentary probably doesn't sound so hot, and I'm once again so sorry for that. I feel bad for even recording this, but I figured it was more important to get the news across to you guys than to just completely skip an upload and go MIA for like a week unexplained, So I may miss an upload, it may take me after this one a couple days to get another video out, but believe me when I say that I will try to get myself back on schedule, back on track. I promise you guys, I'm working my hardest and I'm doing my best to try to keep up with my schedule. You know, I really am. It's hard work. It's tough, but I mean, I'm using what materials I do have left, what isn't broken so far. And hold on, I'm taking off my glasses here because they're uncomfortable. And I'm just, I don't know. I mean, it's frustrating. It sucks. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. And, damn, it's unfortunate, man. It is unfortunate. I mean, also, I just wanted to mention that I actually made a PC channel, a second channel, where I'm going to be uploading a lot of PC stuff, you know, some DayZ videos, League of Legends, Gary's Mod, you know, all that stuff. So it's not going to be like Let's Plays or anything. I think that's really stupid and unoriginal, and it doesn't take much skill. What I'm doing is I'm going to do highlight videos and, you know, funnies and fails, you know, highlight reels, stuff like that. And it's just going to kind of be like my funniest moments, or, you know, my most intense shit in DayZ, or like gunfights I win, and like, you know, funny stuff that me and my friends do when we dig around in games. Because, you know, when I'm doing commentaries, I have the same kind of personality I do when I play games. I like to fuck around. So basically, if you enjoy my commentaries and you want to see me being a dickhead for a lot longer of a time than you would just sit here hearing me in a commentary, and if you want to see me have a little bit more fun, then yeah, check out my PC channel. Please drop a sub on that channel. I'd really appreciate it. I want to get 100 subscribers on there. You know, I don't expect that to happen, but it'd definitely be really cool to see you guys come out there and show me some love, even though my first video on there isn't up. I don't know when the first video on that channel is going to be up, but it'll go up eventually, and hopefully soon. So yeah, I mean, as soon as I get my pop filter and my Xbox account unbanned and I get a new BO2 disc, should be right back on track with uploads. I plan not to miss more than one tops, if even one. I'm still going to try to make do with what I've got. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Drop a like and a comment, and please check out my PC channel and check out the dude who helped me out, I'm Also You, in the description below. Hit him with a follow and my second channel with a sub, and let's go for 130 likes on this video. Yeah, 130. Let's go for 130. So yeah, once again, just huge apology for this low quality commentary. Really isn't up to my standard, and I'm sorry, excuse me, I can't talk. I'm sorry about that. And yeah, I also apologize for putting you guys through an antagonizing 5 minutes of Ghosts. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
I love the way you shake that ass over there dancing like you ain't got no man. So baby, if you want this cash, let me see you do it with no hands. So dance for all these bands, 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 dance for all these bands.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Goblin. Gather around the campfire, because today I am coming in with a bit of a rant about the pub stomping community for you guys. Now, if you guys are subbed to me for just my commentaries, you're not necessarily familiar with the pub stomping community, which the majority of you are because you came from those channels, but some of you may not be. Still listen to this commentary and pay attention to it, because, you know, it'll give you a little glimpse of the pub stomping community. But before I dive into that, I would like to mention a couple things about the gameplay in this video and just, you know, recent kind of updates in general. So first off, I would like to thank you guys a ton for helping me hit 2.5k subscribers. It's a really cool looking number, in all honesty. I mean, that's not, you know, not much else I really have to say about that. I mean, just thank you guys so much for all the support lately, the likes, the views, the ratings, you know, the dislikes too. Those count in the search results. So thank you very much to all of my dislikers. Also, you know, just thank you guys for subbing me, and thank you guys for stopping by. If you came from the Doom or the Vault or the Amp or whatever channel you came from, or if you just found me, you know, out of the blue, then thank you for stopping by. And yeah, I mean, I really appreciate your guys' support, and I hope to have you guys around a while longer. So now the second thing I want to talk about real quick before I dive into this gameplay, or the topic, excuse me, is that this gameplay is actually brought to you guys by my friend Eric. He told me that he dropped a Moab, and then he went on something like a 40 or a 50 gun streak, something around that. I'm not exactly positive. I'm not watching the gameplay right now. So definitely hit him with a follow in the description below. You know, just click the little show more button and then hit him with a follow to, you know, make me and him smile. That'd be nice. That'd definitely be nice. If you want to make Gabby smile, that's the best way to, well, one of the best ways to do it. The other way is to like. Let's go for 150 likes, boys. You know the drill. 150 likes. Let's go. So anyways, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and dive into my rant on the pub stomping community. Now, I'm not necessarily a pub stomper, but I'm in pub stomping clans. I commentate for them. I'm still a part of the community, and I still know kind of what's going on with the community, you know? And I'm going to try to avoid dropping any names in specific. I mean, some teams are better than others. Some teams are a little below standard, but I'm going to try to avoid dropping any names in this commentary. So I'm going to try to keep it kind of neutral and polite to everyone here, so everyone can point fingers at whoever the hell they think I'm talking about, whatever. But yeah, you know, I just kind of wanted to dive into really kind of like the underbelly of the pub stomping community, I guess you could say. And you see this kind of stuff on Twitter all the time, but the first thing I kind of want to talk about is the attitude of the pub stomping community. Now, a lot of people have the misconception that the pub stomping community is really aggressive and mean and full of douchebags and, you know, just bad people, and it's mean because of all the Twitter roasts you guys see, all of the, you know, insults being thrown left and right, all of that kind of stuff, all the arguments, all the fighting. It's really not that bad, honestly. I mean, I was also a part of the sniping community in 2013 and a tiny bit in 2012, not really very like far into it ever or anything, but I was a part of it. And, you know, there's a lot more, you know, arguing and mean people and shit going on over there from what I've seen than there is in the pub stomping community. And in pub stomping, more of the kind of insults and the stuff that people view as like bad and insulting, it's more kind of like, it's all fun and games. Like Twitter roasting and stuff like that, it's all fun, at least in my opinion. I mean, if someone were to roast me on Twitter, I wouldn't really take it personally or take like offense. I mean, I view it as kind of like, I guess you could say like a mini game, like a Twitter mini game, you know, you're just fucking roasting people. That's your mini game, you know? But I mean, some people view it differently. I just personally think that, you know, if you guys are kind of nervous about getting into pub stomping because, you know, you think that it is a shitty community or you think there's like bad people in there, that's not true at all. There's a lot of people who have helped me out and a lot of people who have, you know, made a mark and a lot of people who are nice. I mean, you know, there's not really like, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone that's like super mean or anything. It's overall just kind of a pretty nice community, honestly. Just don't fuck with the scary, spooky guys, because then they'll dox you, and then you got to run really fast away from your Twitter. You know, you can't do that shit. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The next thing I wanted to hop over to is kids who classify themselves as pub stompers, and this is where the rant kind of begins. Because before that was just kind of clarifying, but this is where the real rant part begins. There are people, okay, that may have been a voice crack, you didn't hear that. There are people in the pub stomping community, or at least they claim they are, who have like 1.3 KDs and like A nuclear, or A Moab, or A Chem, that put like pub stomper in their bio, or put like their favorite guns or class loadouts or number of Moabs or Chems in your bio, or, you know, they do that thing where they change the language on their Xbox to like Japanese, so they can put the stars and the arrows and all that fancy bullshit. If you guys listening to this are the people that do that, I'm telling you right now, that doesn't make you look cool to anybody. That literally, like, go on any member of a legitimate, like, somewhat large pub stomping clan, like maybe 10K or above, and you won't see that. You're not going to see people going like 100 chems, 200 Moabs, favorite gun, ACR, favorite attachment, red dot sight, favorite lethal, Bouncing Betty, probably. Bouncing Betty. Favorite tactical? None. Favorite secondary? Small. Like, you're not gonna fucking see this shit. Like, that's stupid. It makes you look dumb. And that may have been cool in like 2010, you know, putting the fancy little Japanese like arrows and shit in your bio. That may have been cool back then, but that's not really like cool anymore. And from what I've seen, the kids who are smaller have an ego. And the big people, like the people who are bigger, don't. And that's kind of fucked up in my opinion. You know, you have these kids who have like 100 subs, like 10 Twitch followers, and get like 5 views a stream, right? And they're sitting here going like, yeah, you know, I'd probably, you know, smack up anyone in Doom, in pub stomping. I should be in Doom. They just haven't recognized my pure talent yet. I'm definitely the best pub stomper. I've dropped over 10 Moabs. I'm definitely very dank. My highest gun streak is a 32. In Black Ops 2, it's very dank. You know, it's people like that who tend to be also the ones who throw the most insults and are the cockiest. And if you're one of those people who's like sitting there, you know, let's say you're tiny in the pub stomping community, and you're one of those people who has an ego, you're not doing it right. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're fucking doing it wrong. I've had personal experiences with plenty of people like that, numerous occasions, people who add me just because I'm in Doom and they don't even know I'm a fucking commentator. I've had people invite me to parties and they'll be like, dude, I love your gameplays, and I'll just fucking, nope, alright, bye, leave that party, get the fuck out of there. But like, those people are also the ones who seem to have the most like confidence and talk about themselves the most. It's not confidence, it's more of like an ego, and it's fucking annoying. So if you guys are looking to get into pub stomping, you're looking to get further and bigger into it, don't have an ego. Don't make enemies with the wrong people. Don't make enemies at all, but especially with the wrong people. Like, connections in this community kind of mean everything, because all of the big clans are invite only pretty much. So there's not as many clans either. So if you guys are interested in getting into pub stomping, or you are a pub stomper right now looking to climb up the clan ladder, I guess you could say, my best advice would be shut your fucking mouth. In all honesty, just keep your goddamn mouth shut. Unless you're a commentator, then talk. Otherwise, keep your goddamn mouth shut. Shut the fuck up, because making enemies is just the number one way to pretty much just get fisted, up the ass with any clan, pretty much. Like, I'm gonna drop an example, and my phone just vibrated. Whoopsie. But anyways, so basically here, I'm just gonna go throw my phone. Okay, there we go. On the carpet it goes. My mom texted me. She can wait. But anyways, so. I'm going to drop an example, and my boy Exility, I'm telling you right now, I love you. You're my brother. Me and you, we tight. I'm just dropping this as an example because we both know, it happened. If you do something, let's say that's kind of immature, like, you drop like a racist remark, or, you insult like your subs or something like that, then big clans are going to see that, and they're not going to want to recruit you because you're going to kind of garner a bad reputation, and that's what happened, Exility's case. He's probably dropped his name, so, hope you don't take offense to that. We cool. You could take a free shot at me in a video. We cool. But, that's just a thing that some people don't understand. Like, there's kids in, like, 1K pub stomping teams who are sitting here like, bro, honestly, I fucking hate Doom, Carnage, Vault, every clan, Tap X, I hate them all. And then, 2 minutes later, they find out that a kid's in Vault, and they'll be like, bro, I want to fucking join Vault so bad. They're the fucking dankest pub stomping clan. Every time I see their videos, I get fucking faded and I have a seizure. Like, it's so dank. Like, just... fuck, like, some people in the pub stomping community, and don't let this like turn you away from it. Like I said, it's a nice community. It's just there's some people who are absolute fucking retards. I'm just gonna lay that down. So, if you guys are looking to get into pub stomping, don't be that kind of kid. One last thing, be very careful with what teams you choose to join. There's a couple teams that I would advise you don't join. One definitely in specific, but I'm not gonna drop any names, like I said. So, just be careful with what teams you join. Definitely go for the ones that have a better reputation. Sometimes it's better to go for the 1K team than the 10K team if the 10K team is disliked, If the 1K team has a better rep, rep is everything. And, a quick tip for all of you pub stompers out there who are looking to get into a bigger clan, like, let's say, Carnage I can't give much advice on. I got declined from Carnage, but that was way back before I joined Doom. Now that I'm in Doom, I don't really have, I don't really need to join Carnage, But anyways, so... basically, for you guys looking to join, like, the bigger pub stomping clans, like Tap X, Doom, Carnage, I can't talk, I didn't sleep last night. The best thing to do is just grind your ass off both on your personal and your clan channel, because if you show that you actually have dedication and you give a shit and you're working hard, then you're going to get picked up by a good team. If your content's actually good, if you record it with a fucking tin can mic, it doesn't matter if you upload 10 times a day, you're not going to get very far, it doesn't fucking matter. But yeah, that was just my rant about the pub stomping community, Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let's go for 150 likes. Once again, check out Eric in the description below for giving me this gameplay. Shout out to him for that, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, but before I go, also want to thank you guys for 100 subs on my PC channel. That's pretty badass. Drop a comment sharing your thoughts on the pub stomping community if you are or are not a part of it. Doesn't matter. You can just share your thoughts. I don't care. If you're not a part of it, tell me it's fucking stupid. I don't give a shit. Either way, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Another day in the ghetto. One look outside and I'm already upset, yo. It look about 102. It's a Saturday and Biggie ain't got nothing to do. I'm interrupted by a phone ring. Sometimes I wish I never got the motherfucking thing. Hello.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Goblin, and today I am coming in with a bit of a story for you guys, but before I dive into that, I want to mention a few things. First off, I want to thank you guys for helping me hit 100 subs on my PC channel. That's pretty fucking badass. The second thing I want to mention is that I am tired as hell. I didn't sleep last night, so I've been up for like 28 hours or some crazy shit like that. So this commentary is going to be kind of more chilled out, slow paced. I may stutter a bit more, than usual. I always stutter, but maybe just a tad bit more in this commentary. And it's definitely going to take a little longer to get to the point, because honestly, I can't even fucking think straight. So yeah, but without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the topic. Let's go for 150 likes. And if you guys couldn't tell by the title, this story is of course about the time that I almost drowned. And this was actually pretty fucking spooky. This was spooky out of 10 for me at the time, because not only was it, I almost fucking drowned in a lake, but this was actually the first time that I'd ever been fishing. So I was like 7 or 8 at the time, and I believe I was in like 2nd grade, I want to say. I was either in 2nd or 3rd grade. If it was 3rd grade, then it was early 3rd grade. Either way, I was a fucking young kid, and it was the day off school. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit at home, play some Legos, furiously masturbate, the usual. And my dad was like, hey, we should try to go fishing. There's a fishing place near us, and it's cool. It's awesome. There's lots of fish. You can catch a fucking octopus. You can catch a fucking shark. You can catch megalodon. I'm like, wow, that's just amazing. Thank you so much, Dad. Thank you so much. Let's go. So, naturally, we went out and we got all our fishing supplies, and I was excited. I'd never been fishing. I'd heard things about it. I'd seen pictures of people catching like crazy cool stuff, and I was exaggerating, of course, when I was saying what is actually caught there. Really, it's just kind of like, little basic Midwest fish, because I live in a boring ass fucking state called Illinois. But anyways, so I was all excited. I was all pumped up, and I was like, wow, this is just gonna be so fucking dank. This is gonna be so cush. This is going to be amazing. So we stopped at this little like fishing store, and we picked up, I want to say it was like 2 rods, some fucking worms for bait, and I think we got, what was it that we got? We got something else. We got like something for the hook. I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't know anything about fishing. I'm not good at it, so I don't know how to be specific. So we're just going to say we bought fancy hooks. We're just going to leave it at that. So we bought all our, we got all our supplies. Excuse me, I can't fucking talk. I already mentioned that. And, we were all good to go. And I was like, wow, this is just going to be 10 out of 10 fucking amazing. I'm so excited. I'm going to catch like a shark. I'm going to catch like a naked lady. I'm going to catch my 2nd grade teacher that suddenly stopped showing up for work and we never saw her ever again. Maybe I'm going to catch her corpse and solve the case. Who fucking knows? So it's about like a 30, 45 minute drive from our house. So, we're sitting there, I'm all hyped up, messing around with the fishing rods in the back seat, just playing around with all the stuff we got, poking at the worms and the buckets and shit like that. And we finally got there after what seemed like a long-ass drive, mainly because I was just excited and every minute seemed like 10. So we got there and I was like, wow, this is just beautiful. This is just phenomenal. Look at that lake. I could definitely dig this. This is my shin diggity, So we pop the trunk, me and my dad, we pull out our fishing rods, and I had no fucking clue what I was doing. Neither did he. We didn't know what we were fucking doing. I don't know why he took me fishing if he had no clue how to fish. But we eventually figured it out, I think. I don't even know if we ever did it right. We never caught anything. But we had our little rods set, the little strings, the wire going through the little like circle hole entrance thingies that you gotta loop it through. We had it all fancy done. If any of you guys listening to this know how to fish, then you're probably laughing at me right now. And that's the point. You're supposed to laugh at my videos. Fuck yourself. Laugh at me, faggot. But anyways, so basically, back on topic here, right? So we laced up the fishing poles, all was well, everything was going 10 out of 10, phenomenal. And, then we kind of cast them, and we didn't really know what we were looking for either, because like I said, I don't know why my dad was suddenly inspired to go fishing when he has no fucking clue how to do it. So we're just kind of sitting there for a while, all's going well, and I'm a bit too far back from the lake to really like see what I was like doing. I couldn't see if like, my rod was being like pulled on a little bit or anything. And basically, to give you guys like an idea of the layout of this fucking shit shack, this little shithole lake, basically it's like you have this little like area with like a picnic table where we parked, and it was like an individual little area that you'd like rent out, and then there was a really steep slope full of like bushes and leaves and all that shit that led all the way like directly down into the lake. And if you were to fall like down into the lake, you could climb back up, but it'd be tough. You'd have to be on that fucking like Iron Man Hulk the Rock shit, climbing up the branches. It'd be like a movie scene, dude. That'd be some crazy shit. But anyways, so I moved up a little bit because I didn't really feel like I was close enough to see what the fuck was happening. So I move up and I stand on a log. I don't know what inspired my dumbass, my 7-year-old dumb shit mind to stand on a log that is circular and probably going to roll with any sort of pressure in any direction except for just directly down. So, I got something, well, I thought I got something on my line. Maybe I got a fucking rock. I don't know. Maybe I didn't have anything and I was just flipping the fuck out having a seizure. I don't fucking know. So, I kind of lean forwards a little bit and I'm like, all right, this is my catch. We're going to bring this home. We're going to cook this. I'm going to feed the whole fucking neighborhood. I'm going to feed the whole state of Illinois. I'm going to be the god of fishing. My 2nd grade classmates, the girls, they're going to be on my dick at this point. I'm swiping V cards at the age of 7. I'm just left and right, just fucking bitches because I caught the biggest fish in my entire state, you know. And I was excited. I was like, damn, you know, this is what it's like. This is real action right here. This is some live action. I'm about to get into this. So I move up a little bit on the log, and I kind of like angle myself in a bad position, which I didn't give a fuck at the time. And I go fucking tumbling. I straight up, I roll all the way down through the bushes. I got a bunch of cuts all over my arm and my chest and stuff like that. It didn't rip my shirt, but it kind of like, it scratched my back and my front, like it scratched my torso a whole lot, but it didn't like rip my shirt very badly anywhere. But, you know, all my arms were scratched up. There were just leaves, you know, sharp things, just brush, all that shit. I rolled down all the way down into the fucking lake. Thank God I knew how to swim, because there's some kids who are like 5th graders, they don't know how to swim, and I'm sitting here like, bruh, you're gonna fucking drown one time. Like, when you go to the beach and you got a girlfriend, and your girlfriend's like, let's go to the beach, you know, you're gonna be there, and you're gonna be that pussy who's sitting there on your lawn chair reading, like, the next fucking Maxim magazine or whatever, like, pussy-ass magazine you want to read, because you can't swim, and your girl's gonna be in the water, and she's gonna see a big, masculine, Hercules-looking motherfucker swimming, and she's just gonna go suck his dick in the water, and you're not even gonna realize it, you know? But anyways, back on topic, I rolled the fuck into that lake. And I rolled, and I went not too far out, but like far out enough where I actually had to swim back, because I kind of like, it didn't really hit me that I'd fallen. Like, it happened so fast, you know? Like, sometimes when shit happens so quickly, like, it doesn't hit you that it just happened. It didn't hit me until I was like pretty much completely submerged under the water, and I was like, well, shit, okay. So, you know, I swam back to shore, and I was like, oh, fuck, because I couldn't climb up that on my own. I couldn't fucking climb up that. There was no way. It was too steep, you know, it had all these branches and shit. So my dad, like, lays down, and he sticks his arm out and pulls me up. You know, that was some heroic action right there. That was 10 out of 10 phenomenal. Otherwise, I would have fucking drowned. The Loch Ness Monster would have came and ate my ass. I would have been fucking done for. Or I would have just drowned myself and surrendered. Yeah, you know, you ain't taking me alive, bitch. But anyways, so, you know, he pulls me up, and I'm drenched. I smell like fucking shit. I'm bleeding on my arm, just my arms though, you know, my torso wasn't like that torn up. I just had some scratches that hurt. But, you know, my arms were kind of bloody just because I got scratched the fuck up on the way down. I smelled like shit. I had like mud and seaweed, not seaweed, I don't know, it's some dirty ass plant that was under the water. I had that all over me. So he didn't want me sitting in his car. He was not cool with that. He was like, nope, but we had to go home, you know, there's no way we're still fishing after that. No, that doesn't fucking happen. Considering my dumbass just rolled down the lake, like, no, that's not happening. So, what this motherfucker makes me ride in the trunk, okay? And thank God he had one of those, like, open SUVs. So, it's kind of like, let me think of a car, like a Honda Civic. If you guys know that, you know, like the open back, so you can see up to the driver's seat and everything. It's not like, you know, the shit where you tie someone up and kidnap them, and then they gotta, like, break out in the action movies and shit. Nah, it's not like that. So, I was sitting in the trunk, you know, of course, no seatbelts back there. We didn't have any towels, so I just kind of had to be wet and mess up the fucking trunk. And he kind of decided that the way to make it a little more fun for himself was to just turn as violently as fucking possible. So I'm slamming into the window, slamming into the fucking wall left and right on top of my guy. He found it funny, you know, maybe I found it cool at the time too, but it fucking sucked. And I finally made it home. And I took, I think, the longest shower of my life. I felt fucking filthy. That was like, no, 0 out of 10. I almost drowned. That was life-threatening. Fuck that. I hate fishing, you know? So I hopped in the shower, you know, did my thing, you know, washed every part of me, every inch of my magnificent, masculine, six-pack, chiseled body. You know, as you guys know, I am very chiseled. But, yeah, you know, that's just kind of how it played out. It was not a very fun time for me. It fucking sucked, and I hate fishing, and if you fish, fuck you. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let's go for 150 likes, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
Cleveland to California, I'm doing numbers. 5K a show, 50 days off the summer. Add it up, I'm doing numbers. I be low-key ballin'. You should see my jumper. Overlook my show.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, this is Goblin, and today I'm coming in with the part 2 of my Q&A video, because I left out quite a few questions that I did want to get to and answer in this video, so I felt kind of bad just not answering people, and there's some fucking thunder. Thanks, asshole. You know, it's storming pretty bad outside right now. Holy shit. Okay, hold on, time out, let's listen to that. Think it's over? Okay. So it's storming pretty bad outside right now, so you guys may hear some thunder, so I apologize for that. But let's go for 150 likes on this video. Thank you guys so much for helping me accomplish that on my last video, since my sub boxes have not been really working lately. So yeah, let me know once again if this hits your sub boxes. It'll probably be the last video that I ask that on, because it seems to be fixed. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the questions. So the first question I want to answer is from Jackson Angstrom, and he said, hashtag Ask Goblin, tell the story of your first kiss. So fuck you, Thunder. But anyways, so basically this is about how long ago? This was over a year ago. I'd say like a year and a month ago around. I don't exactly, no, it actually might have been around a year ago. I don't even remember. But either way, so basically, all through middle school, I wasn't really like, play a 420, let me pop your pussy shorty, that kind of thing, I was more of the kid who was just like, I'm going to sit at home and eat some Doritos while I play COD today, And finally, towards the end of the summer, I was like, all right, I got to step on my game, boys. Let's go. Let's get some poon, So I ended up meeting my girlfriend at the time at the school that I went to, the elementary school, not the school I was going to at the time, because, I was going into high school, but the elementary school that I went to, because it was kind of like the center point of the neighborhood that I lived in. It was where everybody would meet up to talk or hang out or do pretty much anything. And we met up there because, we'd been arguing and fighting, even though we'd only been dating for like 2.5 weeks, right? And, we finally met up there because we barely got to see each other because, we lived so far apart. And, shit went down, we talked, and then at the very end, it just kind of happened. I don't even know how else to put it. And I was like, oh shit. Because, as she was getting up to leave, she just kind of, we kind of locked eyes and we're like, all right, let's fuck right here on the playground. How about that? Let's fuck on the monkey bars. And I'm like, okay, let's go. So, just kidding. But, shit happened. I don't even know how else to describe it. And it was interesting. I was kind of like, wow, all right, that just happened. I didn't expect that at all. But, I never thought this day would come. I thought my first kiss would be my Xbox, but I did it. Tell mama I made it, So it was cool, I guess. Fucking thunder, holy shit, go fuck yourself. Alright, next question. So, hashtag Ask Goblin, this is from VCline52. Hashtag Ask Goblin, what is your favorite chilled beverage? I've got a can of A&W right next to me right now. This is my favorite chilled beverage. I like root beer a lot, so A&W root beer, best chilled beverage. There's a series of questions from VCline52 here. So we're just going up. I accidentally X'd one out. Hold on, code red. Can I go to my history and reopen that, maybe? Okay. Alrighty. This is bad news. You know what? Give me a second here, guys. We're going to have a timeout. By the way, I'd want to mention thank you guys for almost 2.9K. I have to actually search hashtag Ask Goblin again on Twitter in order to find this tweet. Let's see. Okay, boys. All right, see, I just do these live, the Q&As. I don't, rehearse these. So, honestly, if shit like this happens, it happens. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay. I probably should be more professional about it, but I'm going to be honest. I really don't care. Okay. So, let's go down. Okay, here we go. Hashtag Ask Goblin. What is your favorite type of Cheez-Its? I'm going to have to go with those white cheddar ones. I think that's the name of them. Pretty cool. Pretty enjoyable snack, a healthy treat. Probably not healthy. It's probably why I'm fat, but pretty healthy. Next question, VCline52 once again coming in with hashtag Ask Goblin. What is your favorite origami structure? I'm gonna have to say the cock. It's pretty entertaining. It also is pretty impressive to see someone build a penis out of paper. Pretty tight. Next question from VCline52 hashtag Ask Goblin. What is your favorite classical novel? Fuck you. Okay, time out. Can we cut that part out? Nah. All right, so my favorite classical novel. That's a good question. Thank you, VCline52. Wow. All right. See, I don't really read books that much, in all honesty. It's just kind of not my thing. However, I guess, I'm going to have to go ahead and, Tom Sawyer, I guess, just because I remember reading that. In I think it was 8th grade, either 8th grade or this year. I had to do it for English class, so I guess I honestly can't think of any others. So, hooray. Phenomenal. Great. Next question from Nord Gaming. Hashtag Ask Goblin. Who's your favorite rapper? Ooh, that's a good question, actually. I don't really have, like a 10 out of 10 favorite best rapper, NA, best rapper of all time. A few of my highest picks, just depending on songs, is old G-Eazy stuff. Is really good. His new stuff I'm not a big fan of. Lil Durk has a few good songs actually. He's nice. I'm white, so I know I'm gonna get comments saying you're white. Don't listen to him. Go fuck yourself. And I'll be like, okay, All right, see you guys next time. So I guess those two, those are my picks. Let me see. I swear I had more questions here. Let me see. What is your favorite prime number? Coming in VCline52. Once again, is going to be the final question. What is my favorite prime number? I slept through math class the whole year. Let's Google what is a prime number. Prime number or a prime is a natural number greater than 1 that has no positive Okay, so I think I get it. All right, so it's like an uneven number. I fucking feel you right now. My favorite prime number is 7. That's all. That's all I have to say. Thank you all for watching. Let's go for 157 likes in honor of my favorite prime number being 7, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.
This ain't no halo over my head, bitch. But dear God, can you forgive the sinner for everything I did since my beginning? Because the devil around me so much that you would think I got a death wish. Yeah, and the voices in my head get louder, watching my career disappear like powder. Wish I could rewind those hours and get my life back. Strike that, clinging to this weed like a life jacket. Fuck rapping, I was really living everything that I was spitting, bitch, once had.